Hello, everyone. Welcome to Quantum Arts. My name is Jules.
And I'm Marcy.
And this is, again, Quantum Arts. I don't know why I'm being redundant today, but it's just that kind of day. So today we have Steph Lippert as our special guest. You can hear her in the background. I'm going to turn her up again for a second. Woo! Yes. So I'll just kind of leave that in the background for a little bit. I definitely want to make sure to share that Steph and I have known each other for a very, very long time, at least 13 years. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. First, we want to do a couple shout-outs. I have the Nessendorma Opera and Pasta tonight at Nessendorma. And there will be something similar to that out in Whitewater at Fanatico on September 5th at 6:30 for 2 hours. Also with Kai Tien at the Keys.
And also with pasta. It's an Italian restaurant.
It is.
So it's the continuing the
Yes.
opera and pasta tradition outside of Milwaukee proper.
Yes. At least for one time. We'll see how that goes. And
on
then,
tour.
Yes.
On tour.
And then also there is Pagliacci happening with Brew City Opera. That is going to be at Inspiration Studios. That is the 18th, 19th, and 20th of September. Go to Brew City Opera's website. The tickets are now on sale for that. It's going to be awesome. I get to play Neda. Marcy is the intimacy director. And Doug Clemens, who we'll have on in a week, actually is the director for that. But I could talk about more things about that later. But Marcy, I know you have a couple things you want to shout out to, and I'm going to turn the music more down.
Yeah. So it's closing weekend of disaster. So the ship will sail, literally. Or will it? The show is called Disaster. So we close on the 30th. There's just a handful of tickets left. So if you want to come see it or see it again, definitely come check it out. It is a jukebox musical, all 70s hits of all different genres, folk, pop, rock, disco, all sorts of fun things. And it is a parody musical of all of the 70s disaster movies. So every disaster movie that you can think of and every disaster that can happen is rolled into the show. So it's definitely a lot of fun and a lot of laughs, super fun. I've been having a great time. So definitely come check that out. Couple weeks left of Frozen at the Fireside, and then we started rehearsal this week for Come From Away. So that will be really exciting to have that show in the round and on that stage. So something totally different from Frozen, right? Now for something different, now Come From Away. So that's what I've got going on other than getting ready to start rehearsals with you, which will be really exciting.
Mine at least start tomorrow, but the chorus starts tonight. So anybody who's in the chorus, toy on the first chorus rehearsal for Pagliacci. We have a special mini guest, mini guest host with Rhea, right?
Rhea.
Yes, Rhea, who is a service dog. She's adorable. So if you hear a little bit of panting, that's going with
that's none of us. That's Rhea.
I mean, I can if we really need to.
I'm glad you clarified. I think she's calmed down, but yeah.
Oh, no,
she's adjusting to the temperature,
Yes,
yeah.
She's right in front of the fan. So Steph, just to reiterate, Steph and I have known each other for at least 13 years. I believe we met in 2013 through Opera on Tap, probably. And Steph is a flippin' amazing, for lack of other words that I can't say on the radio, musician, a great friend, a great producer. I'll let her introduce more of what she does as well. But just phenomenal artist in so many different respects. Also a River Westian. Woo! Steph, if you want to tell us a little bit about you, what are the other things that you do, and a little bit about your story, and then whatever else you want to talk about.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate y'all. So a little bit about me. I've been a Milwaukee musician now since 2010. I moved here to study at UWM, and a few years later, that's when I met Julianne, and we've worked together in a number of different capacities. Like they mentioned earlier, we've worked together for Opera and Pasta at Nessendorma, Milwaukee Opera on Tap, and just other projects. And so, in addition to our collaboration, I teach in Milwaukee. I also play for a couple local churches. I'm a local band leader. My band is called the SLP. And so earlier you heard my latest single that we just released. And
And what's the name of that single?
Sky.
Sky.
Yes.
Okay.
So good.
I know I was looking at it on the screen and I already forgot. So where are you from originally? Because you say you came to Milwaukee for school.
Yep. I grew up in Grafton and Saukville.
Okay.
And, I was born in Georgia, so I was
Wow.
adopted.
Okay.
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 Yes.
Atlanta or
Savannah.
Savannah?
Nice.
One of the
Cool.
most haunted cities in the U.S. I did a ghost tour there. It was super fun, like at midnight. Anyway, I love those kind of things. Okay. So Georgia to Wisconsin and Grafton to Milwaukee.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is voice your primary instrument?
It is not actually.
Ooh.
I've been a pianist for a very long time. I started playing piano when I was 9 years old. So fast forward to 25 years later, that's my main focus. But
Okay.
I've been a brass player for a long time. I'm a bass trombonist. I used to be a tuba player for a long time.
Wow.
Just a few
And
things.
yeah, and other instruments along the way, but
So
piano is
different.
my main thing.
Well, then you do turntables too, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Not actively these days, but for a while I was DJing under the name DJ Grandma Matrix.
Yes.
Okay.
At the Jazz Estate, especially for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my main home for spinning my favorites.
Okay. And at UWM, were you voice major or piano major?
I was a piano major, and then I
Wow.
also majored in trombone performance.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
okay.
she's fantastic. I've seen you do at least a little bit of trombone with one of the ensembles. Is it the? It's not the East Side. What is it called?
I used to play with the Milwaukee Jazz Orchestra. I used
Mhm.
to play also with the Bruce City Big Bands.
Yep.
Wow. And what was the instrument we heard at the beginning of Sky?
Tenor saxophone
Okay.
and flute. I recorded the tenor sax, and then my friend Olivia Dobbs recorded flutes for that.
Nice.
Wonderful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah, you weren't
Yep.
kidding. You
Oh, she's a flippin' amazing.
you do
Yes.
everything and you sing.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
goodness.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yep. Steph is amazing. She's so busy that it's been really fun to try to figure out, like, hey, when are we gonna have you on? But that's the really cool thing is that you are just a multifaceted artist who know how to navigate the Milwaukee music scene, which I very much admire because it's not easy. But I mean, how do you feel about your musical journey? Like since hi Rhea, since you were at UWM or even earlier than that, like
Yeah.
how do you feel about your musical journey?
That's a really great question. I think the main thing is that it has certainly not been a linear process.
Mhm.
My world for a long time was in classical music, and
Mhm.
so that's how we met. And so I think fast forward, I've been kind of trying to undo some of like
Mhm.
politely undo some of my maybe not undo, but just kind of expand upon the training that
Yeah.
I've had as a classical musician and do something different. So right now, like everything that I'm doing with, putting my efforts mainly into being the band leader of the SLP, that's something that I didn't really actively see myself doing when I started school here in Milwaukee. That was not something that was on my radar. Like I wasn't thinking, oh, let me just start a band. So I guess in that respect, I've been open to allowing myself to switch gears, which is a little challenging. So I'm wearing I'm wearing less hats than I was before when I moved to Milwaukee. And I think it's necessary at this point to try to kind of further develop the thing that I'm most interested in right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry. It's moving away.
the mic is ghost moving away.
Well, fast forward to now, especially with the SLP, what do you think like morphed it to where it is now? I know that's a really, really large question with a lot of different directions for answers, but like, what do you think? I mean, how long has the SLP project been around?
Since 2021. So at that time, there really wasn't a ton going on because of the pandemic, and
Mhm.
I got an opportunity to have a little residency downtown at Pap's Best Place.
Mm-hmm.
And I truly didn't want to do all these dates by myself as a solo musician.
Yeah.
And so that's when I formed the SLP. And so it was kind of like the situationship produced the band, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what does it stand for? Something SLP?
Yep. The Steph Lippert Project.
Oh, okay, sure. I guess I should have put two and two together.
Okay.
I blame. I don't know.
It's
I don't know
okay.
what
I
I blame.
say MOT without even thinking about it. I'm like,
Well,
oh, yeah.
I know what that is,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But some people might think, no.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's really cool. Like, I mean, shout out to Steph for having something. I'm not saying that having anything on any particular radio station makes any difference necessarily about somebody's like success, but it was really cool. I told Steph about this right before we got on the air, that we're moving to Bayview, and I was actively going from our old place to the new place, and all of a sudden they're like, and the Steph Lippert, sorry, I'm tripping over my words today. The Steph Lippert project, like after it had played, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's one of
You're
my
like, that's my friend.
Yes, exactly. But like, it's good to know that there are those ways that Milwaukee is supporting its local artists. Now, how do you, if you don't mind me asking, kind of going on a slight tangent, how do you feel about how Milwaukee supports, like musicians and how they're put out there? I mean, like not necessarily just how they're put out there, but just in general. Does it feel like there's a decent amount of support in Milwaukee as a musician?
I've always felt supported as a musician. I guess that's like kind of an interesting question to answer, but just switching gears from classical to the world of being an indie songwriter or whatever, like I feel like people have been very accepting of that transition for me, like even though like there's been times where I'm like, oh, am I in the right place, like I feel like I've gotten a lot of confirmation from the scene and the community to continue like pushing forward with writing music and releasing songs. So I definitely feel like Milwaukee is a special city. There's so many artists here, and there's a lot of spaces that are very accepting of our music scene. And so I guess like I do feel like we have an accepting scene, and there's so many things that I could add about that, and spaces that I've been and people I've met along the way that have helped me get to this point right now. Yeah.
So you've been playing piano since you were 9. What originally got you interested in music? What called you? Did your parents force you to take piano lessons, or that's what it was for me, and it didn't last very long. But what was your original musical inspiration, and how has that evolved as you've gone from piano to brass to classical to more contemporary jazz and songwriting?
My parents did not force me to take piano lessons.
Yay.
I actually bugged them to take piano lessons. Nice. And shout out to Carrie Brick if you're listening. She was my first ever music teacher. Aww. Who you met actually at Opera on Tap.
Oh, nice.
And she taught me a lot of the instruments that I play, and really fostered my excitement for music. So just had to make that shout out because they were really a big aspect of me probably being a musician, honestly.
Were you drawn to something initially as a pianist, certain styles of music that sort of made the jump from piano to brass? Or is that a normal jump? I play cello poorly, so to me, that just feels like to go from piano to tuba seems like a...
Well, I think, a lot of times kids start band programs when they're in like 4th or 5th grade or whatever. So I started piano in 3rd grade, and I was interested in all, just other aspects of music. And so I think with my teacher's guidance, like she maybe gave me the idea like, hey, maybe you would want to try band. So I tried baritone, and then eventually baritone segued into tuba when I got into high school. But I think truly, I do think it was her that inspired my interest in wanting to explore other instruments outside of piano.
Nice. I love hearing that. We've had so many band directors on the program that and they talk about their love for music and how they got inspired and how they pass that on. And I hear again and again talking to people like, your band director inspired you and got you interested in brass, and just shaped really the trajectory of so many things that were yet to come for you.
For
So that's
sure.
really inspiring.
Our like growing up when we would have piano lessons, like, you know, normally a lesson's like 30, 45 minutes or whatever. I swear our lessons would just like turn into like a long time.
A marathon, a piano
and
marathon.
We
2 hours later.
we just had so much fun, especially during the summers when we had that kind of time. But yeah, we had a blast together. So
Nice.
So I have to ask, and you probably get this question a lot when people say, or when you tell people you played tuba, that it's a really big instrument to not only carry, but to you know, carry around, and then the amount of breath that you need to push through a tuba to make sound. I mean, that's really got to be a lot. Like, how heavy is it? Were you in marching band with it, or just concert band?
you
Is that what
know,
it's called, concert band?
I was in concert band, and I really enjoyed it, but it was kind of annoying because people would always be like, "Hey, don't you wish you played the flute?" And it never crossed my mind, honestly.
So you were like, no, actually, I don't.
No, I actually really enjoy this.
I really
Thanks.
enjoy the tuba. Thanks.
But yeah, I haven't played tuba in a long time, but you know, I enjoy like the memories for sure.
Okay. I think about how large the instrument is, you know, and I think, wow, that's additional. It's in addition, above and beyond to being able to musically play the instrument. The amount of breath you'd need to push through that thing to make a sound has got to be a lot more than others.
Well, and I'm giggling because I'm about to do something that I don't know has happened on River West Radio, but the
Is it because I'm asking silly questions about
No.
instruments?
No, no,
Because
no.
here,
No.
I've never played in band. Clearly,
no, but for anybody who has never put their mouth to a brass instrument, there's a lot of buzzing. So the
Yeah, you gotta really kind of get the embouchure nice and tight. It kind of sounds like this. Oh wow, that doesn't actually sound that great, but it's a
but
lot
you
of
can hear the
spinning.
pitches. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
hear it switches to different notes that you could hear in what Steph just did.
It's vibrations.
But embouchure, like, it is all about like how you're placing your lips against the metal of the mouthpiece that goes into the tuba or the trombone or whatever brass instrument you're playing, and that itself, like, you are influencing so many different notes that, like, tones, notes, however people want to think about it, that come out of the instrument. So to be able to have the dexterity to not have your lips rip from doing that very often. Like, I mean, I've known a handful of different brass players for a decent amount of time as well before meeting Steph, so I definitely can appreciate what goes into that, because then you're determining what notes are coming out of it. You have a couple different, like, keys that you press with your fingers. You have a couple valves that you move, but at the same time, you are determining with the embouchure in your lips against the metal what octaves, so like whether it's ba or something else, or like even just some of the other parts of the notes, how they come out. I won't go into the theory of that right now, but that there has to be that musicality to do that, and like knowing what all you do already, like, holy crap, that's a lot of musicality that goes into it. And I mean, I'm also talking as a mainly singer, but like it's just really cool to know what you've been able to accomplish over the time, just that I've known you, and then to be like, I'm also going to be a singer-songwriter, although you probably were otherwise, but maybe we didn't talk about it as much. But I mean, I know that there was a point where you were kind of battling. I'm not saying you do now, because you've said that now Milwaukee's been really welcoming to the shift a bit. But I remember when, like, maybe a year ago or so, when we were talking, that you said like that you've had to say, no, I'm not just playing classical piano. No, I don't just play classical music.
Yeah, I think that's a big one for me, because I feel like transferring over into a new world, I don't know, it just feels like for a long time I had to use the classical as an explanation as to who I am, but it's not really who I am right now.
Yeah.
So I think that's like a pretty clear distinction that I've had to make with myself, and be like, I have to just really say who it is I want to be in order to become that person.
Exactly.
And not the other way around. Like, I'm a classical musician, but I also do this. Like, it's the other way around now.
Exactly.
well, it's that whole idea that you can have roots and wings.
Yep.
So your
Yeah.
roots may be in piano or in classical, but you know, your wings are taking you other places. So
Well, and also that idea of like that there isn't a box. Like we have been told, I mean, I don't know if you had this experience at UWM, but there had been this idea when I went to school that you were going to fit in the box, and if you didn't fit in the
Yeah.
box, you might not be successful. So try to make sure that you fit in the box. And it's been interesting to see that shift, especially after COVID. Like, no, we don't fit in the box. We can do all sorts of different things. We just have to figure out how we go about figuring them out.
Exactly.
And letting people know what they are as well.
Yeah, I think going to school for music, I think what you said is so spot on, where our professors are definitely concerned about us focusing our efforts on a single track and not being a jack of all trades. And that I feel like just doesn't work for most artists these days.
Yeah.
And certainly wasn't the way for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like success is defined by how we enjoy ourselves more than like the thing that everybody sees. Yeah.
Well, and art is such an evolution in terms of who you become along the journey, and how you learn about yourself and how experiences in life shape you. Even for me, as a non-musician, right? I don't play an instrument except, I guess,
You sing.
I sing,
Stop.
right? But as an actor and singer, that's changed throughout the years. How I sing, the kinds of plays that I would do, the kinds of musicals that I would do, the kind of performer I am. It's shaped by your experiences and I guess the opportunities that come along the way for you, and how you take advantage of those and what you learn along the way, I guess. So any performance art is a journey like that. When did the journey with songwriting start for you?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say that I probably started writing songs in my early 20s. At that point, I wasn't really singing out too much. I was still in school. And yeah, I feel like the songwriting thing kind of happened on accident, where I was just kind of writing. I was like, oh, I think I got something here. And I didn't really anticipate that I would be a songwriter per se. The first couple songs kind of just stumbled out, and it wasn't until one of the bands I played in was like, hey, do you have any songs? And I was like, oh,
well. So someone had to ask you, and you're in
kind of
in the band instead of you being like, oh, hey, I have a
20
band.
songs from 10 years ago, and these ones that I just wrote yesterday.
Yeah, so I was playing in another project, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yes.
And that band is a really special group of people in Milwaukee, but they were some of the first to perform my original music, actually.
Now, RBG is mostly female identifying, if not female, like AFAB, correct? Yeah. I mean, and that's still kind of coming, like it still performs once in a while when people are all in town.
So we have some bandmates in NOLA. We've got a handful of us in Milwaukee. It's been a little bit since we've done anything together, but definitely give them a lot of love for being some of the first to foster the space for my original music to grow.
And was that, just because I'm thinking about it now, was that like at least 8 people in the band?
Yeah, definitely a powerhouse. 7, 8 people, yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty darn cool to hear the group. I think that there was a couple Locust Street and Center Street.
Yeah.
Maybe not Center Street, but definitely Locust Street. Definitely remember hearing that. And then somewhere else in River West, like many moons ago. But no, I mean, it's been really cool to watch your journey. And I'm not just being like, I'm so proud of you. But I mean, like,
thank you.
It is flooring to see people's artistic journeys, and that's why I love doing this show, because it's not like, here we have this like script and this is what we have to say, but it's about like, how are you feeling about what's happening? How did you feel about it? Like, and knowing that we've known each other pretty, I don't know if I could say intimately, like, I mean, intimately in like the friendship sense, like we've known each other like through a lot of life stuff too. That it's just been really cool as a friend to see you do things. I know we don't talk all the time now, but it's just really cool to see, not necessarily, like, I don't want to say growth, because you just keep growing. Like, it's a continuous trend for stuff. But it's amazing to see what next thing you do. And I don't mean like a separate thing, but just like what comes next in your journey is just really cool. But I could go on about that for a long
I
time.
was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, from everything I've learned about you in just our short time together today, I'm so excited and curious for what the next evolution for SLP is, or for Steph. So that's really exciting.
Well, and speaking of which, we're right at that time where you
We
get to shout out what's
What
coming
you
up
have
next for
coming
you.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right now I'm getting ready to release another single. The next tune that I'm releasing is going to be called Train Hopping. And so you can look out for that wherever you listen to music, Spotify, YouTube, Bandcamp, all that kind of stuff. And then as far as performances, my next performance is coming up at Third Space Brewing. They've been real good to the SLP over the years.
Yay.
And that is on September 26th for their anniversary
Yay.
anniversary party from 8:30 to 9:30.
Very cool. That sounds like a fun night out for the E group, Ursi, Julesy, and Marcy.
Yes. When it's all three of us, then I'm Jewel Z.
Right.
Because then it works. So I guess I'm gonna ask a question because I know you're a dog person as well. This is our little quote unquote silly question.
Yes, this
of
is
the
in
day.
honor of Ursi because
Yes.
they're not here,
Yes.
and Ursi always asks
Yes.
a fun, silly question.
Yes.
So we have to honor that tradition for them.
So I'm not going to do Dolly, but rest in peace, Dolly. Rest in peace, Tim Curry. I hope there's not another one, but if there is, I know who I'd hope it would be, but that's another story for another time. But I'm going to go on a different subject because you're a dog person. If you personally had to be any particular breed or a mix of breeds, what would you be of a dog breed and why? And go.
That is
No
an
pressure.
interesting question. Honestly, I gotta say that when I was a kid, I was always fascinated by the dreadlock dogs. What are they called?
The ones like not the one from Little Mermaid, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, the one from Little Mermaid, is that an Australian sheepdog, right?
Yeah, this would be
Or
different. This
something?
is the
Yep,
one that's
yep.
like full of
Yep.
face full of.
I know what you
dready-
mean.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting. I know I should know the breed name.
Let's find out.
If only we had a device that had all of the world's information at our fingertips.
I don't know why, but I just thought that I don't know. I hadn't ever seen any breeds of dogs like that. And I think that
Well,
it's a
I
whole vibe.
the Puli Commodore.
Oh yeah, Commodore.
Aha. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the one.
Oh,
I don't know. They're kind of just fun.
yeah.
There's
like
like a
it.
little one that has dreads. That's really interesting. Because sorry, we're looking.
What
We're
about
looking at the
you,
computer.
Jules?
I don't know. I think I've always loved. I mean, retrievers have always been the sweetest since I was growing up. But
So
I mean,
loyal.
all of them. But I mean, there's so many other breeds that I could say. But that's not for now because we've got 30 seconds. What about you?
I'm
wonder.
obviously I'm a Dalmatian. I've been a Dalmatian mom my entire adult life, and I'm sitting here with my lemon spotted Dalmatian Rhea Reese. So if I didn't say Dalmatian, I'd probably be in a lot of trouble at home. But I genuinely mean it.
Oh man.
And I have freckles. I have spots.
Well, thank you everybody for listening. We're gonna say a quick goodbye,
Yeah.
but please listen again next Wednesday. Thanks, Steph.
And thank you so much for having me on tonight. I really appreciate y'all.
We did it.